Hey, thanks for joining me on this edition of Reddit Questions. We're looking at our real estate today. We're taking some financial questions from our real estate. We want to take a look. We've got some answers put up here to help us with the prompt. You don't want to watch me write everything. Let's get right into it right here. First question we're talking about, do rental properties actually need to cash flow? Well, we're usually looking at, let's say, three kind of key factors here. We're circling that first question, right? Cash flow, always the king, right? Most people are going to be most concerned with cash flow. Can you make more money, bring in more cash than you're going to spend? But it's not always the main thing, right? So that's kind of what the question is pertaining to. Can we kind of get a good deal if we're not doing positive cash flow there? The answer is yes, but it's going to depend very highly on your circumstances. So the next factor we have listed here is your taxable income. What are we talking about here? With real estate, depreciation is the big thing you get. So again, you're using depreciation to reduce your taxable income. That's a big benefit of doing real estate. Are you reducing your taxes enough to make up for that cash flow loss? Maybe, perhaps. You could be getting a positive effect there, but again, you need to be digging into the details to truly understand that. And now here is really the one that might end up burning you if you're not doing good on cash flow. If you haven't planned these things out, capital expenses. When you get hit with an $8,000, $10,000, even more expense, that's something that could ultimately really sink you and put you in a bad spot. So you need to have a plan for these three items when you're investing in a property. You need to be dialed in on exactly what these are going to look like. The second question we're taking a look at, should you rush to buy a first-time home to get out of renting, or should you wait? Now I'm going to make the operative word here, rush. And we're going to circle the question again to show you which one we're looking at. The answer is absolutely unequivocally no. You're not going to rush ever to buy a house, and no matter what the circumstances are, no matter how high the interest rates are, no matter how low the interest rates are, whatever the other factors are, we don't need to rush. But we do need, there's always an incentive to get into a home. There's real advantages if you can get in a position where you can afford a home and you're planning for the capital expenses come back. If you're planning for the capital expenses associated with it and you have that cash flow available to you to cover those, purchasing a home can be a great idea, right? But you never want to rush. And we have a lot of other questions within the question being asked here. We have a lot of other details. But at the end of the day, that's a very personal question. There'd be a lot of questions that need to be asked to this person about what's truly important to them. But at the end of the day, we're not rushing. We never rush to buy a home. We make a decision with the right information and the right time. Question number 3, overwhelming curry Indian food smell. Has anyone dealt with this before? Of course we've dealt with it before, but that's your problem to deal with. I don't know how to deal with it. What do? Ask them to stop making food? Not much you can do. Plug your nose? Maybe. Good luck figuring that out. And then our last question here, we'll call it question 4, but it's really question 3 on the board. Are we stupid to give up our $725 mortgage at 2.875%? Now that is a great mortgage, right? Who wouldn't want to be paying $725 on their mortgage? Great job, good refinance. But at the end of the day, as we point at 3 here, we're talking about sort of a interest rate versus happiness question, right? Now, a good interest rate makes me happy. I'm a CPA, numbers are in my head all day. Love a good interest rate. Certainly would affect my decision of when I'm going to sell my home and perhaps buy a new one. But I am never, ever going to sacrifice happiness to do that. At no point, and I've learned this maybe over time, right? I've become maybe a little wiser in my older years to the point where this makes sense to me very clearly. But at no point am I going to do anything monetarily, my interest rate, financially. As long as my family is covered and I'm in a good spot, I'm choosing happiness every single time. You need to kind of weigh those factors, right? But at the end of the day, you're not stupid to give it up and go purchase a new house that's going to maybe fit your needs a lot better, make you a lot more happy. It needs to be financially sound, but again, you're not just going to stay just for an interest rate. Do stuff that makes you happy first and foremost.